We have a lot of information that we're going to cover today, so please be attentive. Definitely don't keep someone from getting the information that we have. So as we start this morning, what I want you guys to do, it's been a long 11 years for our executive director. And I'm trying not to make her cry, because she'll cry in a second. But this is the last safety meeting that she's going to have with us as a whole on the east side. So I want you guys to do is give her a big round of applause as she comes to give us our invitation. That's right.
Okay, now I have this all together and I was all prepared, and then he goes and he messes me up, and he knows exactly that's what he's done. So yesterday I couldn't be at the West Side safety meeting, so we did a short video of me saying a prayer, which worked very well for me because I didn't cry all the way through it. So I was actually able to say the prayer. And so it's a nice little prayer. It hits on a whole lot of things that you have to deal with. So I'm hoping you will receive it and appreciate it. So we're going to move on with the prayer, so let's bow our heads. And this prayer is definitely for bus drivers and bus attendants. Please, Lord, watch over all of us today. Please help us remember to watch all 5 mirrors, 24 windows, 8 gauges, 6 warning lights, 6 dozen faces, 3 lanes of traffic, and to keep a third eye open for wobbling bicycles and daydreaming pedestrians, especially teenagers wearing headsets and or texting who are in another world. Please, Lord, help us hear all train whistles, truck and automobile horns, police sirens, and the dispatchers on the radio. Also, Lord, give me a hand with the steering wheel, the route sheet, the air brake, the turning signal, and the radio. And one more thing here, Lord. Please don't let Mary be sick all over my bus today. And finally, Lord, please watch over us so that we can get up again and do this tomorrow. In your name we pray, amen. Amen. And so with that being said, it's very true. You have many, many, many things on your bus that you have to watch every day. You don't have to just watch the road when you're driving your car. You have to watch many things. Not to mention the danger zone, the children getting off your bus, and you do that so well that you do get the Aldine children picked up and safely delivered to school for 100, and it used to be 77 days. But now they don't go to school quite that many days. What is it, 174 now? We do 174 school days. But you still have your 177-day calendar because the district wanted to make sure that your base pay didn't change a year ago when they changed the number of days that our students attended. So that you know, that's where we build in the general meeting dates so that we could keep your base the same at 177 days. Because I know that that came up recently and some of the people didn't really know that that's what had happened. So it just kind of was a nice time to clear the air. But with that being said, it's been a wonderful 11 years for me. And serving with you and for you has been my pleasure. To see you smile in the morning or in the afternoon, or when you come in even upset and you need something resolved, and we're able to fix it on the days that we're able to fix it. On other days, maybe not so much. We couldn't fix everything you came to us with, but we tried. So please keep that in mind. And I can leave with a clear heart and conscience that the new people that are coming in and the old people who are moving up and taking new roles, you will be in excellent hands with Ms. Metcalf and Mr. Houston and Mr. DeVos and Mr. Williams and Mr. Mann and Mr. Houston And where's Mr. Kelly? Did I leave anybody out, Mr. Kelly? Thank you. Because I am getting old. In fact, I get to turn 60 this summer. And so after 36, thank you, after 36 years in education, I will go and, used to tell some of you guys, my goal is to sit on the porch in a rocking chair and just watch the birds in the morning. And plant a garden, and play with grandbabies, and get to do some travel. So that's what the future plans are. And there's going to be a little celebration that you're all invited to on June the 8th at MOC from 3 to 5. If you're able to attend, you're welcome to attend. But if you're coming, please let Nydia know, because she's trying to get a head count to make sure there's enough food and refreshments for everyone. So with that being said, I'll probably talk too much because Mr. Kelly has a tight time limit for these meetings, and I don't want to hold you up or keep you late today. But thank you once again. I love each and every one of you.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. We have a student recognition on this morning. And unfortunately, the student could not be here with us, but we still want to highlight this student, Mr. Genesis Chapman. He's a student out of Rayford Intermediate, and to introduce him will be Dr. Metcalf.
Good morning. The plan was, we were supposed to have a young man come in today, Genesis Chapman. He's a student at Rayford Intermediate. Just so happened one day I was in the neighborhood. I had gone to make sure a bus got into Rayford. I'm standing on the bus ramp making the most of the morning. And I see the bus is pulled up, and there are a couple kids, and they're messing with a lunchbox. And they're twirling this lunchbox, twirling it, and it goes flying under a bus. And I'm 100 yards away, and I'm going, oh no. I'm ready to start screaming on the bus ramp, don't do it. Because you know the kid is going to climb under the bus to get this lunchbox. Well, the kid goes to the bus, the side, the curtain there, and he stops, and then he walks to the driver. So before I can even yell anything, I see the kid do the right thing. And I'm so impressed and overwhelmed by this. Well, as I'm watching him go to the service store to talk to the driver, one of his buddies reaches under the bus and grabs the lunch sack. So I still fuss and yell down the bus ramp. And I meet with both of them. And I say, look, what were you thinking? You don't do that. But you, young man, way to go. Way to do the right thing. So we printed a certificate. We were going to recognize Genesis and have his family come in today, just to recognize him for using safe practices on the bus ramp. And I don't know, I'd like to think that our bus drivers have trained the young man over the years. And I'd like to think that because of you and how you're training and teaching the children, that they are being safe around the buses. So kudos to you and everybody that's transported that young man. But please continue to teach the kids how to interact safely with those buses. I wish he could have been here today, but we'll make sure he gets the certificate out to Rayford. Okay, thanks guys. Also want to take the opportunity to introduce a new member to our team. Jack Mann is in the back, if you'll wait for us. Thank you. You may have interacted with Jack Mann already in the last week or two. He's new to us. He's coming from Bryan ISD near College Station. He has been in transportation for a number of years. He has driven buses. He's been what we would call a star driver. I think they've called charter drivers. So he has moved his way across the transportation department and worked in just about every capacity you could imagine. And he's going to be the new director at the North Side. Okay, so if you're going to the North Side, you'll be working with Mr. Mann. And Mr. DeVos is bringing his expertise and experience here in Aldine to the North Side. So I think we've got a great experience.
All right. Moving right along, we do our Employee of the Month. And so our Employee of the Month came out of the West Side this month. A lady that has, I think, also perfect attendance for the year. And her name is Ms. Joyce Melendez. Let's give her a round of applause. And moving right along with the program, is our perfect attendance. So we do a perfect attendance incentive as promised every month. We select 6 personnel from East and West who have perfect attendance for the month. We do it a couple of different ways on how they are selected. We run a query of their names. We print out their names, and we either cut each name out on a slip of paper, put it in a plastic bag, and then we draw out of that bag, or we'll select random numbers, 6. If it's 100, let's just say for the sake of easy numbers, it's 100. Select random numbers, 6, 99, 44, 3, whatever the case may be. And those people that fall next to that number is how we select who gets perfect attendance. So perfect attendance this month goes to Miss Eva Fuller. Miss Eva Fuller, you here? She's not here? I'm going to give her a gift. That's okay. Miss Kendra Pierce Velasquez. What's that? Congratulations. Miss Adela Valdez. You here, Miss Adela? And I will say this, East Side has more spirit than the West Side did yesterday, so keep it up, keep it up. Garrett Davis, you hear Garrett Davis? I'm gonna let it die down. All right. And Mr. Marcus Garvey. Somewhere over. Oh, there he is over there. And Mr. Robert Weems. Congratulations. All right. And just FYI, so when we do perfect attendance, we do it for the previous month. So it's May, and we did it for April. There will be perfect attendance for the month of May. We will announce that on June 1st over the radio. So you will still be able to get your incentives. You'll just come in, and just like these persons, they'll go to payroll and sign for it, because we have to have a record of everything. You'll do the same thing. You'll go to payroll office once you get your name called to receive your attendance incentive. And just by show of hands, if you had perfect attendance in the month of April, will you just raise your hand and let us recognize you? Congratulations. Thank you so much for coming to work every day in the month of April. We appreciate you. All right. So now we're going to move right along and get Ms. Rose Salvatore ready to come give us some safety information. This information you're going to get this morning, we definitely want you to keep this in mind as you're going to your campuses. It is the end of year. And as I told the West Side yesterday, kids get a little more squirrely. They don't listen as much, which means they make our job a little more difficult. And we have to keep a visual on these kids, especially on the bus ramps, because they're pushing and they're shoving, they're not paying attention. And just like that kid that was with Genesis that reached under that bus, they'll do it. It'll take just a split second, but we're the ones that have to keep an eye out for that. So it's okay just to pause for a moment before you roll to make sure that nobody's under your bus or around your bus. Just keep that in mind, because it's that time of year. Ms. Rose, come on up so we can give this information.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Good morning. How are you doing? Everybody getting ready for summer? Yes. I do want to thank Ms. Metcalf for mentioning how important it is that we pass on the information to our students so that our students are safe. It's so important that we help them know how dangerous it can be around the bus. So I hope that we can do that more often. Maybe we can, as drivers, start paying attention to our students that are practicing safety and bring that to our administrators' attention. Okay, let's talk about loading and unloading at the campuses. One of the things that's concerning us is that our drivers are rolling in a little too close to the curb there, scraping off the edge of your tire, which can be expensive. And also, it's dangerous for the children to step off the bus and slip their foot down in there along the edge of the curb. So we want to try to move away from the curb. Best practices say we need to be 18 inches to 24, you know, something like that, maybe 2 feet. And that way, whenever you pull out the lead, you're going to be pulling a little over to the left the lead. You're not so likely to bump up on a building or possibly knock somebody down that's walking on the sidewalk. So let's just remember that's best practices. Okay, let's talk about physical exemption 49. That's really what I'm here for. This is really concerning us. We have a lot of our drivers that are being downgraded. It's so easy for you to allow that to happen. You need to watch your mail. Update your license when you move. Please don't move and then forget to go do that. Because if you get a letter from the DPS, you're not going to get it. They're not going to forward it. So you don't know you're about to be downgraded. If 60 days goes by, you're in trouble. You can lose your job. If we don't have an attendant position available for you to fill until you're able to get your driver's license back, you're not going to have a job. It's that simple. So we want to make sure that we stay on top of it. You're professionals, this is your job. You want to take care of your job. Protect your livelihood. And as I told the West Side yesterday, I put this big old red arrow here for a reason. And I put this big box 1 there for a reason. Because I want you guys to remember it. Every time you make a visit to the DPS for anything, they are going to approach you with the attitude that you need to self-certify. Every time, if you go 4 times in 1 year, they're going to say, how are you self-certifying? And each time, you need to remember the word circled up at the top, exemption. Okay? Box 1. And that 1, I want you to say to yourself, I am a school bus driver. I am number 1. So I get to use the school bus driver's exemption. Just remember that. So what do you want to not do? Do not pull that DOT card out of your wallet and hand it to her when she asks for it. You say, no, I'm a school bus driver. I'm exempt. That way, you don't put yourself in a position of being downgraded, because if you're not back there next year, just before that expiration date, with that new DOT card, you're going to be downgraded. So, save yourself the trouble. So, if you certify with your DOT card, you'll need to return every year. Realize that and know that. We have a 1% here of people that actually work other jobs, and those people do that.
Some people wanted to take a picture with their phone to take a picture with that phone.
They're going to receive all of this information in their boxes, that exact screen right there. You will receive this information. I was going to say that when she got done.
Okay, so if you don't meet that deadline, you're and you don't go, you have gone ahead and registered your DOT card with the DPS, and then you're unaware of it. You're like, oh my God, I didn't know. It doesn't matter. Ignorance of the law isn't going to matter. That's an old saying I hadn't heard in a while. Okay, so if you're not planning on crossing state lines in a bus or driving a tractor trailer, you don't need to show your DOT. You just need to be bold and resolute and say, no ma'am, I'm a school bus driver. I don't need to show you my DOT because I'm exempt. I think that's all I've got to say. Thank you. I want to see all of you this summer for general meeting, and I want to see you all back next year driving a school bus for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rose made me want to just explain a little bit to you when she talked about if you become exempt in the past, we try to hold on to you if we can. So if we have a bus attendant position open, then we can offer you. And we've done that for a few people. But if that position, if we don't have a vacancy, then we cannot offer you a position. So just because we've done it historically in the past, it only worked in those situations when we had a vacancy open. Because we cannot create a new position, and that's very important for you to understand. so that you don't automatically think, oh, well, they did that to somebody else, so I know they'll do it for me. Yes, the answer is we will do it if we can. So you need to be aware that we can't always do it. And we don't want to let anybody go. Know that. We need every bus driver we have sitting in here today, and we need 50 more. So always keep that in mind. No one is ever looking to get rid of anybody. We don't have time for that, nor do we want to do that. So be aware of that. Also, thank you for those who wore socks today, the crazy socks. Just so you know, I appreciate it. And there's a reason I'm wearing crazy socks. It's not because I've got a sock thing going on and I just want to wear funny socks. I've got an issue with my legs, and I have to have a procedure on my veins. And so in the meantime, the doctor is making me wear 20, 30 compression socks every day, all day long, until I crawl into bed at night. And so until I get it fixed, and then after I get it fixed, I still have to wear the socks for another 6 months afterwards. At any rate, I appreciate all of you who tried to chime in and make me not feel so guilty that I have to wear these crazy socks every day. So there's a reason. I'm not trying to be funny or fashionable. It's doctor's orders. But I tried to make fun of it because I don't want those ones that are beige. They're just ugly. And at least these are colorful, and I like color. So here you go, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, Ms. Robin. So the information that Ms. Rose went over, you will receive that exact slide in your box, along with some other information. And part of that is going to be about the physical information. And we're about to go over some DOT stuff, but I'm going to tell you some things that you're going to receive in your box that's very important and need to be separate so that you can have it, so that you would know. But at this moment, we're going to enjoy a presentation real quick from our DOT provider, which is Pinnacle. They're going to tell us how to pass our physical, because our physicals are coming up. Now, before that plays, our physicals, July 17th and 18th, you will receive also with that slide an individualized appointment that you have, okay? And what we're trying to do is centralize all of our physicals, because if you should happen to not pass your physical and it's January and you can't work and you have a family to feed, that poses an issue for you and us. So if we do it in the summertime and you should happen not to pass, you have time to get your things together before your next year starts, where you can continue to make money and feed your family, and then we can count you on as well on the routes so that we can take care of business. So she's going to tell us, Ms. Charlene's going to come tell us how to how to prepare for our DOT physical.
Hi there, my name is Charlene and I'm with Pinnacle Medical Management. Most of you have seen me a time or two at physicals each year. We are going to be doing your physicals again this year, and I'm just wanting to prepare you guys and help you to pass your DOT physicals if we can do that at all possible. There are lots of things that I want to go over with you. You will be getting a flyer from the ISD about these very things, so you'll have something in writing that you can hold in your hand that will go over all of the things I'm about to mention to you. The purpose of this is to help you pass, because obviously if you're passing, you're able to drive for your ISD, and they are very happy about that. They don't need to be shorthanded, so if you will do your part with me, we can make this happen. First and foremost, I want to talk to you about when you're filling out your form online, you will be given a link to your email. So when you go onto that link, you're going to sign in. This is the time when you're going to go over and look at all of the information that we've already previously had, like your address, your driver's license number, your social security number, your phone number, last name. If any of those things have changed, feel free to go ahead and correct those things at that point. Then you're going to move on to doing your medical history. On this medical history, that's going to be blank every single year. So even though you filled it out last year, it's going to be blank this year. So please be honest, answer the questions yes or no. On the medication, please don't just put I take blood pressure medicine, put the name of the medication that you do take. We do not have to have dosages. Also, when you get to the bottom, it's going to ask you, did you answer yes on any of those questions 1 through 32? If you did, please take the time to answer those in order. And it is helpful if you'll put the number of the question that you're replying to. So say it was number 7 for blood pressure. If you will put number 7, blood pressure for about 5 years, for about 10 years, just give us a timeline of how long you've been being treated for that issue. Even though it's under control, if you take medication for it, then you do have that problem. So you do need to say yes to that. Also, pre-filling, by doing this ahead of time, you're going to save yourself so much time on the day of exams. The difference is you will still have to sit with me and do a check-in, but if you've pre-filled, you will sit with us probably less than 2 minutes. We basically just need to witness your signature. We're going to scan over the information, make sure that you didn't miss anything. If you did, we may have to go over that with you, but that's about it. It'll be very quick, very simple. You will move on and go on to the stations. Please have your driver's license out, because every girl at every station is going to use that to identify you. And we do need that primarily at check-in, because we have to verify on there that you do have your CDL and it's current. That being said, okay, so you're going to be getting one of these pieces of paper, and it's how to prepare for your DOT physical. These are very important. So when you get these, please take the time to read them. At the bottom, you will see that we have our office phone number. So if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to call us and ask. Sleep apnea, you do need that compliance report. So if you have a little chip in your machine, you're going to take that into either your pulmonary doctor or your primary physician, whoever you see for your sleep apnea. Take that little chip in, they will put it in their computer, and it will put out a printout. That's called a compliance report. We have to have, it has to show that you're at least 70% compliance for 4 hours or more. Also, please keep in mind this needs to be less than 30 days old. So the closest amount of time that you can do it to the DOT physical date is the best. And that is going to be the same for pretty much anything that you need to have in advance. The closest amount of time that you can get that done to your DOT physical date would be the best situation. If you have heart disease, you will need an echocardiogram result within the last 2 years, and it must show an ejection fraction of 40% or better. If you take any kind of sedating or mood altering medications, this would also include pain medications, psychiatric medications for depression, anxiety, those kind of things. If you're on ADD medicine, ADHD medicine, weight loss medications like Vyvanse or Adderall or Phentermine, you will need a note from your prescribing physician stating the name of the medication, what the diagnosis is, including the severity of the diagnosis, and it must also state that the medication nor the diagnosis will affect your ability to drive a school bus. Please make sure they put school bus. By putting school bus, it tells DOT that your doctor is aware that you are in a safety sensitive position. So that is very key, and it must be on there. If it's not on there, if it just simply says that you're good to drive, it's not going to pass. So just letting you know. On these notes, I just want you to know that no matter what you're bringing, you do not have to show this to any of our staff members until you get to the examiner. That's the only person that needs to see this information. Also, if you are taking any medications that are primarily used for anti-seizures, such as gabapentin, a lot of times those are used for things like migraines, neuropathy, and psychiatric disorders. So because of the primary issue that gabapentin was actually created as an anti-seizure medication, it falls underneath that category. You will need to have a letter from your doctor stating that you are not being treated for seizures and that you have no history of seizures. But it does also need to state what the medication is being prescribed to you for. And again, it must state that the diagnosis nor the medication is going to affect your ability to drive a school bus. Again, it must be very clear to state that you are not being treated for seizures, nor have you been diagnosed with seizures. That too can be something that's very private. Just give it to the examiner when you see them. On your vision, if you are prescribed corrective lenses, contacts or glasses for distance driving, you will have to bring those to the physical because you will be tested at distance. So please have those with you if you need those. Also, just a reminder, if you already know that your vision has deteriorated since last year, go ahead and get a jump on that. Go see your eye doctor and see if you need to go ahead and get something prescribed now. It could save you from not being able to drive later. And I'm sure your ISD will appreciate that. And then on diabetes, provide a recent, within the last 30 days, A1C, and it must be 10 or lower. Again, on this one, even though it says less than 30 days, if you can get it as close to the exams as possible, that's always going to be the best situation. So we will need that A1C, and it does have to be 10 or lower. It is also imperative that you take your medications prior to the exam, so that way they are working while we're taking your urinalysis. On hypertension, so if you have blood pressure issues and you're being prescribed medication, please take your medication before you get here. If your blood pressure is elevated during the exam, then you could very possibly be disqualified, so we don't want that to happen. Also on blood thinners such as warfarin, if you have those kind of things, we do need to have an INR, and it must be 2.0 to 3.0. So go ahead and get that INR ahead of time. Again, as close to the exam date as possible is always best. Bring that with you, show it to the examiner. Again, my name is Charlene with Pinnacle Medical Management, and we will be doing your exams coming up soon. So please take the time to pre-fill when you get that email, log on to the link. If you have any issues logging in, please call our office at 281-405-8378, and we will be happy to get you another link sent to your email as soon as possible. Pre-filling is very important. We want to help you succeed. So please follow all of these guidelines to ensure that you pass your DOT physical and can drive another year for the school district. The purpose for all of this is also because there are a lot of DOT regulations that our company must follow. So just letting you know that although it seems like a lot for you guys to remember every year, just letting you know that we don't make the rules, we just simply follow them. So by going over this with you, I know it's a lot of information, but by following these rules, it will help you, me, and the ISD. Thank you so much.
You have that information in your packet about everything that she went over. If you don't know what she was speaking about, most chances it doesn't pertain to you. You would know what she was talking about if it was a symptom or a situation that you had going on. But we have provided that information in your packet, okay? So just FYI, you do have that information. Next slide. Just take a look at it. That's everything that she discussed in the video. Now, one thing I want to draw your attention to is the very last sentence on this slide. That is the number to Pinnacle. If you have a question about anything that she discussed or a situation, just give Pinnacle a call. They're there to answer your calls. So that phone number is also in your packet and you have it. Now, for the physicals, pre-fill. That's a key word that she was talking about, pre-fill. What pre-fill is, your emails have been given to Pinnacle. Your district email has been given to Pinnacle. Pinnacle in return is going to send you a link through your district email. Through that district email and that link, you'll be able to click on that link, go inside, and fill out the information that is required of you. Do this ahead of time. Do this ahead of time. Because if you do it ahead of time, when you come to the west side to get your physical, you'll end up checking in. She'll check to see if your information is in the system. Once it is, you're moving right on to the next station. If you don't do it ahead of time, then you'll have to sit there and go through that entire process before you can move on. There will be a technology team in place to help you recover your password, but if you don't do it ahead of that, there will be a wait. As I stated earlier, each person will have an individualized appointment time that will be placed in your box. You will know exactly what date, exactly what time your appointment is. No stones will be left unturned.
month or 2 months? Can you be more specific?
Well, as she said, you want to do it not necessarily more than a month out. They're not going to send the email before June 30th. They're not going to send the email before June 30th. So look for that email to come between June 20th and June 30th. I communicated with them yesterday about it, but that information is also going to be on that guide that you have. You're not going to be left in the dark about anything, okay? Just want you to have that information.
They don't know their password for their email. I suggest before coming in and asking for it now, or wait till last week when there's everybody in line wanting to get it, don't have enough to get it. So start coming in now, so we can find out what the password is.
Employee self-service. Now, this is some information that you need in order to, and I want to search your intelligence, so read through it with me. But employee self-service is basically it's a way for you to update your personal information with the district. You can now do it electronically. You can check your pay stubs, your W-2 forms, your address, emergency contacts, your pay summaries, deductions. All of that information you can change now electronically. Notice this though, you can only do this from an Aldi computer, okay? This it doesn't have anything to do with physicals. This is just updating your personal information, and I said that because yesterday I had a couple of questions about that. Doesn't have anything to do with physicals. This is just for employee self-serve. You can only access this from an Aldi computer because it's a secured line, okay? And when you go to do this information, okay, notice that it says that you use Internet Explorer browser. So it is not compatible with Chrome. It's not compatible with any other internet source. Internet Explorer. And then you type in that link, and that's how you get that. Next slide. Okay. Take a moment and just check that out. It says highlight more resources. Then click ESS. And after you click that, you should see this bottom section right here. Next slide. What's my user ID for employee self-service? ESS. That's how you retrieve it. Take a moment and view it. How do I get my password? If you don't know your password, you're able to reset it to get your password. Now again, Aldi does send out information via mail. So you want to make sure that your information is updated. Next slide. Once you have your information, this is the screen where you would enter that information. Next slide. How do I change my mailing address? Now that My Information tab, once you select that tab, it's going to have all of your personal information that you're able to modify. So you select Modify at the bottom of the address page. Next slide. Click on Home Address to view your home mailing address. Next. Go ahead and take a look at that. That's just saying that if your mailing address is the same as your home address, then you can check the same mailing to receive your mail at that address. Open records situation. Take a look at that second paragraph. If the Open Records Act is set to no, Aldi will not make available your home address if requested. That's key information. Once you put everything where you need to have it, and go ahead and press submit. Next. Okay, that was employee self-service. Any one of our technology specialists in the department can help you with that information. We get you all the information you need to help you out with that. Now, 2017 spring semester final exam schedule. So there's some blacked out information there. What that was the actual final exam schedule. No times had changed there. The times that we need to look at are Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, Tuesday and Wednesday. Notice that our high schools will be dismissing at 11:05. At 11:05 on Tuesday and Wednesday. Hall has a little bit of different situation. And an email has already been given to dispatch for them to give to the Hall drivers. Their actual early dismissal will start on Wednesday and Thursday, so they will not have early dismissal on Tuesday. They'll still get out at 4:55. But Hall, we can discuss that you do have information that's coming to you. All right. Next. And then that's Thursday. That's Thursday, the final dismissal day. Notice that in there, we have included Victory Carver, Drew Houston, Reese Anderson, Bethune. I coordinated it by the times they correspond with each other, so that it would just be easier to see. So just take a look at those times. And you do also have that in your packet. And you will also receive that information in your box as well. Okay. Last day of school reminders. You guys, we were all teenagers at one point in time. We know what the last week of school brings, and we know what the last day of school can bring. If I've been upset with you the entire year, and I have not had an opportunity to get next to you, I'm going to do it this week or this last day. So be mindful of that. As many announcements as these schools will be making, you and I both know, we cannot keep kids from being kids. They're going to be kids. So be mindful of that. I will say this before I go even further. You're going to hear some processes in here that we're asking you to do. Please do them. I'll tell you more about it once we get there. Teachers will be assigned to ride buses. You are to return them to the campus at the end of the run. It's not a pain. It's for your safety. These teachers have been around these kids the entire year. They know their faces, they know their names. You may not know them. It may be some kids riding your bus that haven't ridden the entire year, but they belong there. They didn't ride it once or twice, but they belong there. That's what they're there to help with. Okay? Observe students entering the bus after dismissal. One of the biggest things you can do is put an eyeball on those students as they are loading your bus. Why am I doing this? I want to make sure that there are no visible threats. It's the last week, last day. You got some seniors that may be graduating that think they can get away with anything. And then you have some that say, I'm not coming back until next year. So just put an eyeball on them. Just as you welcome them, how you doing? Just check them out. Visually check them out. Students must get off their bus at their assigned stop unless documentation has been given to you by an administrator at that campus. We are not accepting documentation from kids. If they have documentation, it goes to a campus administrator first. That campus administrator provides us with a copy of that documentation. Keep the documentation. We're not going on the honor system. Not for this week, not for this day. There's no other documentation. So on the original dismissal day, they didn't have Hall on there at all. I had to email the principal and say, what day do you get out? What is your early dismissal schedule? Why? Why didn't I call her on the phone? Because if I screw it up because she told me something, I don't have a leg to stand on. But that email ain't gonna lie. This is what you told me. Documentation. If students misbehave on the way home, go ahead and take them home. Go ahead and take them home. Record the incident on an office referral. Let me tell you why. I have personally been involved. So I coached for a number of years. Last place I coached was high school. Our quarterback did some foolish stuff before he graduated. And the school, because of the office referral, prescribed him a discipline. The school said that they would not accept him on campus. This is his college scholarship. Until he fulfilled his discipline referral from the campus. I have known it to happen firsthand. And it was the quarterback of high school. He's pretty good. I say that to say, go ahead and do what we're asking you to do. Record it on office referral. Kids that are coming back next year. I have known students to start Compass. Starting off their new year in Compass because of something they did the previous year on the last day of school. Campuses do hold them accountable. Just do your part. Do your part. Don't give them cookies, candy, gum, drinks, etc. I know our baby's so cute. But don't give it to them. We don't know what they're allergic to. Half of them don't know what they're allergic to. Especially our little babies. Don't give them that stuff. Be aware of students outside of the bus when stopping to unload. Keep an eye out. Because you're going to have kids that the day before set their eggs over on the last street because they know they get off on the first street and you're going to let them off and they're going to run through the trailer, go get them eggs off that last street and wait on you to drop off that last kid. It's been done. I have ridden the bus where it's been done. So just keep an eye out. Protect yourself. Something like that happens. Call dispatch. On those days, PD is patrolling. So if we have a situation like that, we can't get someone dispatched to the scene. After dropping off the last student on each run, check your bus for any weapons or illegal substances. Here lately, we have been having a few more cases of illegal substances being found on the buses. Okay, after each run, check your bus. After your route, check your bus. At the end of your route, your bus will be inspected. Mr. Nathan Bowles is going to come forward and tell us what to look for during those inspections, what he's going to be looking for, so that we can make sure we leave everything and being good stewards of what we have been using this year. So, hey, biggest thing is, y'all, we're saying this because we want you to be careful. Please be careful.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because we all want to get out of here. But as the last 2 years we've done this, we've done a bus inspection at the end of the year where you're going to go right across the street to the west side of M.O. Campbell, come in from the back, loop around. So just to be clear on this, the buses should enter from 525, go around the stadium and line up. Not come in off of Aldine Meadows. Okay? I'm going to block those gates off. I do not want you coming in from Aldine Meadows. I want you coming in from 525, okay? So when you bring your bus up, we're going to give you an inspection form. One of either myself or one of the inspection teams is going to get up on the bus. We're going to check the bus real quick, sign off on the card, give that to you. You're going to turn your key in and turn this in with it. If you come back to dispatch without this, they're going to send you right back over to me. You have to have this at the end of the year. Now, in an effort to speed this up, you know, last year we had that form and we were walking the bus and checking the seats and class. It was taking a long time. I'm going to have you guys help me this year so we can get this done faster. On Tuesday, I'm going to put the form in your box. If you can spend between Tuesday and Thursday marking down all your cut seats, any broken windows, any damages you may have, problems with the bus, whatever the case may be, you're gonna do like a self-inspection kind of thing. Then all we have to do is get up on the bus, make sure you've swept it like you're supposed to, and cleaned it like you're supposed to, and you're out of there. That much quicker, okay? So you guys are gonna help me this year so we can get this done fast. Go ahead and change it. What we're looking for when we get on the bus, your floor has to be swept. No trash in the bus whatsoever. So that means when the kids get off the bus, you know how they like to eat those candies on the last day of school? For some reason, the teachers do that to us. They shove them down in that seat. I need you to walk your bus before you come up to the row and pull all of that out there. I will have trash cans right there. So if you have a trash bag, you need to dump it right then, that's fine. That's why I'll have trash cans there. But make sure you check that there's no seat, nothing shoved down in the seats. The driver area, I'm not asking you to wash windows. I'm not asking you to wipe down the seats, wipe down the ceiling, none of that. The only area I'm concerned with you specifically cleaning is the area where you sit every single day. The driver's area. Steering column, dash, your seat. Make sense? Make it simple. I don't need you guys to do a ton of cleaning. We have a detail team for that. Any of the special needs, unhook your seatbelts and your safety vests when you're in the line. I'm gonna have a bus sitting there. We're gonna unload them from you and put them on that bus. That way you don't even have to bring them back to transportation. So you're gonna pull up in line, have them disconnected for me, so that all I've gotta do is grab and take them off. That'll make it a lot faster. I will have a cleaning solution and some rags for you guys. You can check them out with Charlie or Robert Ruiz. They're gonna have them loaded up, ready for us. That will start tomorrow. So not today, but tomorrow we'll have bottles ready for you, okay? So you can start cleaning as early as tomorrow. Go ahead and go to the next one. As I said before, the east inspection, it'll start around noonish over here on the west side of ML Campbell. Please make sure that you go from the 525 around. I don't want to have to try to deal with people cutting in line and all that stuff. We're all professionals here, so we're just going to go right around the circle and go out, okay? Here's a little quick map for you. So everybody should be entering in right here, right? Going around and exiting right here. So if you park at the stadium at bus wash, you'll make a right-hand turn, right-hand turn, right-hand turn, you're out of the way. You go in the annex, okay? Go ahead to the next one. Keep going. All right, summer work. We're not starting summer work until July. So if you want to do a summer school, be my guest. You can also sign up for my detail team. Okay? So you're not going to be limited to one or the other. You can do both. Not saying you're going to be selected both, but you can do both. We're going to start on the 10th of July, and it's going to run all the rest of July and then the first week in August. We're going to do from 6 to 2:30. We're looking at basically, depending on the weather, we don't really want to have people miss, so 1 to 2 days is the maximum where you'll be released from the team, okay? We're looking at right now, tentatively 16 drivers for attendance. That may go up or down depending on needs. We'll have 2 teams east and west, and I've already put the sign-up sheet right there next to Maria's desk in dispatch. I have a big old sign that says summer work sign-up. If you do not put your name on there before Friday at 3 p.m., which means you'll be on your bus, that's when I'm picking it up. If you try to sign up afterwards, I'm sorry, we'll close it at that time, okay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a great rest of the year and a great summer. My shuttle drivers, can you go outside right now, go ahead and get on your bus and pull it up here. When you guys walk out of here, you are not crossing the street, you're getting on the bus.
Let me say that real quick. So we do not want anybody to walk, we're not dismissing yet. I'm just making an announcement. We're not walking across the street, we want to be safe. So we will take you to your cars. So we're asking that you get on the shuttle. When you exit out, you can go out those doors, load the shuttle buses. But we are not dismissing yet. We have a couple more announcements.
Good morning. Hope everyone's doing okay. I just want to congratulate you all. You all have done a great job punching in and out. I know last year was a big transition as far as going to the block. This is just a quick reminder as far as your times. I know it's a funky schedule, I know it gets confusing, but basically the 30-minute rule between runs, go ahead, finish your run. For example, you have an hour and a half between one run. You basically come back to transportation, clock out, 15 minutes before your next run, clock back in and roll. Okay, so I hope that's a clear understanding regarding that. Next thing is the times. Make sure your times are correct for the week. So this Thursday, unless it's going to be around Friday or next Monday, the 5th, I strongly suggest go ahead and check your time card. Make sure everything's good to go. Make sure before you head out, your time's straight so you get paid. Okay? Any questions? Come see me, please. Thank you.
Next slide. Go to the end of your calendar and itinerary. No, sir, that. Right there. Okay. When you first came in, what I was telling you was you are receiving an individualized calendar and itinerary. This is what the calendar looks like. It has every date on here, what's going on in the summer. Notice that, and you'll see it on July 31st. We're having CPR special certification for our special needs driver certificate. And you'll have all of this. If you didn't get it last year, it's due every 2 years, okay? One thing I want to draw attention to. Our general meeting, August 7th through 10th. The west side is the 7th and 8th. East side is 9th and 10th. It is required because it is built into your base schedule. So if you do not come, you will be docked compensation. It is required. Okay? So here, because we are District of Innovation now, just found that out about a week and a half ago. District of Innovation, basically what that means is some calendar days are changing for us. So with that being said, we are waiting to see, and you'll see on your calendar, it says on the 14th we may have principal meetings. We will communicate that to you, okay? You'll know all about it. We're waiting to hear from upper administration, assistant superintendent of administration, to let us know what those principals are going to do for that day. Tentatively, we have the days that you guys will run your routes, subject to change, tentatively. Make-up special needs CPR certification. That is not for anyone that is existing. That is for new hires. That is for new hires. You'll have that information. What you have here, the second page that you will receive, and you'll be able to go to payroll and sign for your sheet. We've done everything for you. Everything that we have on this calendar is on here. If you are required to attend, you individually, depending on where you drive, what you do, we have taken a liberty and put an X next to everything for you. The guesswork is out of it. Stick it on your refrigerator so you pass it every day so you know what's going on. This is individual to you. Yours may not look like your neighbor's. So you have to keep up with yours, and we have that for you. Okay? So it's your summer calendar and your itinerary. If for some reason you can't make the general meeting on the days that you're supposed to, you need to see me. You need to see me. Don't get turned away at the door because you didn't communicate in enough time. As well as for the CPR certification. If there's a reason why you can't make that date, you need to see me. I need to log everything and know who's going to be there and who's not because we have a limited amount of slots based on who we know needs to have that certification. Next slide. Now, there will also be a sign-up sheet at your dispatch. So real quick, the calendar itinerary, you will be able to go up to payroll and sign for it. All right? This sign-up is going to be at dispatch. It's going to be a dispatch. And all you want to do, we're asking if there's anyone that wants an XC added to their route for the next year. And just sign it. Just sign it. Okay? Open routes will be posted in May. They'll also be posted in July. And Mr. Williams already went over that last rule of principle. Now, our payroll ladies will be around for about 15 minutes. You don't have to get your calendar itinerary here if the line gets a little long. You'll be able to go up to payroll and sign for it. So don't everybody rush. Thank you for your time. We are adjourned.